Was that a lawful request?
Yes.
What law am I breaking by being here?
You're filming cars in this car park.
And what law is that? What law is that breaking?
Trespassing. You need to leave.
And what is trespass a criminal matter? Is it? Is that a criminal?
So here's what it all really boils down to. The law, not intimidation, decides what happens on the street. In the UK, police officers can't simply walk up, demand your name, or order you to move just because they feel uneasy or don't like what you're doing. That's not how lawful authority works. Every power they exercise must come from legislation. Suspicion alone doesn't qualify. For instance, civil trespass is not a criminal offense. It's a civil matter between the property owner and the person on the land. Unless your behavior turns into something like aggravated trespass, where you intentionally obstruct, disrupt, or intimidate lawful activity, the police have no right to intervene beyond offering advice. That what's happening here is a perfect example of how confidence can be mistaken for correctness. The officer, unable to cite a clear legal power, continues to press her authority, hoping persistence will replace substance. But that's where knowing your rights makes all the difference. You're not required to provide personal details unless specific legal conditions are met. For example, under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, where antisocial behavior must be reasonably suspected, or under stop and search powers tied to concrete grounds. Simply filming, asking questions, or standing in a public space does not qualify. This is why understanding your legal footing is so important. When officers overstep, it's not always out of malice. Sometimes it's misunderstanding. Sometimes it's habit. But either way, the result is the same. The public gets intimidated into compliance they never legally owed. That's why guides like my UK Rights Handbook exist, to strip away the jargon and empower people with the facts. You don't need a law degree to stand your ground. You just need clarity.
See, it's funny because when you think I'm doing something illegal, you come and accost me, but you were too busy to deal with these sorts of things 2 minutes ago when I reported an officer committing offences.
I can't deal. If an officer has committed an offence, I can't deal with that. It's not on my level. It needs to go to a sergeant or higher up, or our PSD.
Well, so why don't you take the details, report it to a sergeant, but you're quite happy to come and accost me, but you can't deal with matters?
In the reception.
I don't want to go into the reception. I'm quite happy here.
Okay. If you want to discuss it, if you want someone to listen.
I don't want to discuss it. I've discussed it. I walked away after they left. Walked away. We've left it. That's it. She's followed me and accosted me after we've had that discussion in a public area.
This is a private car park.
Right. Yeah, for vehicles. I walked through a footpath that had no signage, nothing saying no public access. It says no public right-of-way on the road sign for vehicles. A right-of-way applies to roads, not to pedestrian footpaths. There is a pedestrian footpath, no obstructions, no signage. This is a public area, whether it's private or public property. It's a public.
The auditor's assessment here is absolutely spot on and cuts right to the heart of how public access and private property laws actually work in the UK. There are no warning signs, no staff-only markers, no restricted area boards, and not even a painted boundary line. Nothing that would clearly signal the public isn't allowed to be there. Under UK law, when no such barriers exist, the public is legally entitled to rely on what's called the implied right of access. It's the same principle that allows postal workers, delivery drivers, or even visitors to approach a property entrance unless told otherwise. At most, this situation could fall under civil trespass, which is not a criminal offense. It's a private legal matter between the landowner and the person entering the property, and it has nothing to do with police enforcement unless it escalates into criminal behavior, such as aggravated trespass, where someone intentionally obstructs lawful activity. In this case, there's no evidence of that whatsoever. The auditor's calm reasoning exposes a key issue. Police often respond to complaints as though a crime has been committed, when in fact, there's no criminal element at all. This distinction is vital. Police presence alone can give the public the impression that something unlawful has occurred, when in truth, the situation remains squarely within the boundaries of civil law. And that's exactly how misunderstanding turns into overreach. The auditor's explanation doesn't just defend his own actions. It educates everyone watching on where the legal line is actually drawn.
What do you want to do? What do you want to gain?
Be left alone.
Okay.
Who are you two? Sorry, you've come in and joined the conversation. Sorry?
No problem, police officers.
And what's your name and badge number?
89.
89?
Yep.
DC, PC, DS?
89.
PC 89. And yourself?
I'm DC 424.
DC 424. And you're both based here? Yeah.
But we're just saying, if you want, we can go over there, but we're just saying this is private property. This is a police car park.
Okay.
It's private property. So if you want to come back over there, by all means, we can
Okay.
go and try and sort out whatever your complaint is, but it's having it in our private property.
Okay.
We're not going to have that. So if you want to come over to the foyer, no problems at all. We can go and have a chat over there.
But the foyer is private property as well.
Yeah, but you can gain access.
I can gain access to this. We've just been through that. We've just been through this. There's nothing for pedestrians. Why not?
Because it's a secure, and it could be, you could pose a security.
Well, it's not secure, is it? If I've just managed to walk in here, it's not secure, is it?
All right.
You say secure, but it's not.
What's the purpose for being on this car park? Because our concern is...
I'm making a video.
It's a security breach that we're concerned about. So we're happy to talk to you, but while you're here, we've got concerns about security breach.
This is exactly where the logic in the officer's reasoning begins to fall apart completely. The claim that the auditor poses a potential security risk might sound dramatic, but under UK law, security concerns must be grounded in evidence, not instinct. The law doesn't bend to accommodate vague suspicions or personal discomfort. If a site is genuinely sensitive, whether it's government property, industrial infrastructure, or anything else of importance, there are clear, physical safeguards that reflect that level of protection. Secure fencing, lock gates, keycard or biometric access points, CCTV monitoring, warning signs, and perimeter restrictions here. However, none of that exists. No lock barriers, no restricted access signs, no indication whatsoever that this area is off limits. It's an open route where any ordinary person could walk through without challenge. That fact alone undermines the security risk argument entirely. You can't hold the public responsible for accessing a space that visually and legally appears public. The failure isn't the citizens. It's in the site's own planning and enforcement of security measures. The auditor's point is razor sharp. If authorities truly view this location as sensitive, then it's their job to secure it properly, not to intimidate or question lawful citizens for being observant. The law is crystal clear. The duty to prevent unauthorized access lies with those in control of the property, not with members of the public who act within their rights. What we're really seeing here isn't a security breach. It's a deflection of accountability, where officers shift the burden of institutional negligence onto the individual simply because he has a camera.
You have a warrant card or an ID card or something. You've given a call number.
I've told you my comment.
Thank you. Yeah. But your plane's closed, so I just want to see your warrant card as well.
So I'm willing to listen to you. We're both willing to listen to you and hear what you have to say. But
No, because you're just going to fob me off with the same stuff that the two PCs have.
Private car park.
Okay, so I'll give you a quick synopsis.
Over here, please, because we're not.
If a police, so you're a DC, so you're a ranking officer.
No, we're all the same rank.
You just said DC.
Yeah.
That's detective constable.
Yeah.
Is that not a higher rank than a police
No,
constable? Is it not? Okay, it's just a different area. In that case, then I don't want to talk. Then don't worry. I'll talk to a sergeant if you get me a sergeant.
We've got a sign to say it's gated for a reason.
Okay. So you see the no entry signs and that one. Like I said, private property, no public right of way. As we discussed, what right of way is not public access. A right of way is relevant to roads. That's what a right of way is. Is a public right of way is a public road that people can access with a vehicle. Yeah. As you can tell, I'm not in a vehicle. I'm not in a vehicle. If it's secure, right? So as you can see there,
I'm not going through it all with you.
Well,
you're going to try and do the whole. Oh, I know this legislation. I know that. I'm not really that fussed. I've just asked you to leave politely,
and I've declined. Yeah. Cool.
I just don't really see the point in you being here. Like I don't know.
I don't see the point in you being here either. But there we go.
Right, this is my job.
This is my job. I'm at work.
It's my working place.
Yeah, it's my place. This is my place of work right now as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Thank you. See, sensible. The most sensible person so far. You a sergeant?
Yeah, I am. For my
Thank you. Finally. Right. Okay. Well, we'll move away from the PCs because.
Are we already standing over there so the cars can move around?
Oh well, the cars can move around. I mean, where's the car going to move? Here. It's fine. We've got plenty of room.
Just asking where you stand.
We've got plenty of room. I just want to move away from the PCs, to be honest. I want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to them. So if you can come with me and if you want to talk to me away from the others, that's fine.
What I'm saying, sir, is there's operational police vehicles just moving here.
That's fine. I'm quite conscious of the road. I've managed this
many. Have a conversation with you, but can we just do it there?
I've managed this many years.
I'll tell you what. After we finish talking, you want to stand back here for a second? We can. Can we just talk over there?
I'll tell you what.
I'm not trying to be difficult.
We can talk on the path here.
My name's Pete. What's your name?
Pete.
Yes.
And your collar number, Pete?
My name's DS 1446. Pete McGill.
DS 1446.
Yes.
Enter Detective Sergeant Pete McGill, and everything about the scene changes in an instant. The tension that had been building begins to ease, not because authority was imposed, but because it was properly exercised. McGill steps in with a composed presence, the kind that comes from experience, not ego. He listens carefully, evaluates both sides, and immediately identifies the real issue: unclear boundaries and inconsistent signage. Rather than rushing to judgment or flexing authority, he takes the time to clarify where civil matters end and criminal jurisdiction begins, a distinction that, in moments like this, defines the difference between confrontation and resolution. What McGill demonstrates is the essence of measured policing. His tone is calm yet firm, his words precise, and his manner respectful. There's no shouting, no unnecessary pressure, just clear communication built on legal understanding and professional restraint. This approach doesn't weaken authority, it strengthens it, because real authority doesn't come from volume or force. It comes from knowledge, control, and fairness. McGill's handling of the situation is a reminder that good policing isn't about winning arguments, it's about maintaining order through respect and logic. He recognizes that escalation without cause creates new problems, damages trust, and undermines the very system officers are meant to uphold. In just one interaction, McGill manages to rebuild public confidence, showing that law enforcement, when done right, can protect both the peace and the principle. It's the kind of professionalism that stands out, not because it's flashy, but because it's rare, steady, and exactly what modern policing needs more of.
Literally arrived and witnessed a police constable straight away. First thing, as soon as I get here, parked on the roundabout,
Right.
on the double yellows,
Yeah.
engine on, idling, on his mobile phone.
Right.
So I go and approach.
Yeah.
He winds his window. So I ask him quite bluntly. I say, "Afternoon. Is there a reason you're parked on double yellows with your engine on your mobile phone?"
Yeah.
He says, "I'm doing work. I'm waiting for a prisoner to come out." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Are you on the phone to emergency services?
Yeah.
Are you paying at a drive-through?"
Okay.
No, he just rolls his window up.
Right. Okay. So you're saying you've seen an officer there? They've been sat there.
Yep.
Idling it, right?
Yeah, so idling's an offence,
Yeah.
idling your vehicle. Being on your phone with the engine on, unless you're on the phone to 999,
Yeah.
or paying at a drive-through, those are the exceptions to the new legislation.
Yeah.
Both offences.
School. Notice Detective Sergeant McGill's approach: composed, deliberate, and rooted in observation rather than reaction. There are no interruptions, no raised voices, no snap judgments. He allows the auditor to continue documenting events as they unfold, demonstrating confidence in transparency rather than fear of it. What the auditor captures may seem small: idling patrol vehicles, officers using phones behind the wheel, lapses in procedure. But these moments matter. They reveal how the smallest breaches of conduct can quietly erode public trust if left unchecked. This is the true purpose of an audit. It's not about confrontation, clicks, or manufactured outrage. It's about visibility and accountability, two pillars that keep both public institutions and individual officers grounded in integrity. Every detail observed, however minor, contributes to a larger truth. The standard for those who enforce the law must be higher, not lower. McGill's calm acceptance of scrutiny sets the tone for professional conduct. Instead of resisting oversight, he embraces it as part of the job. That's what separates strong policing from defensive policing. When observation is treated as a threat, accountability disappears. But when it's welcomed as a safeguard, it builds trust, credibility, and respect, not just from the public, but within the ranks themselves. In moments like this, the audit becomes more than a camera test. It becomes a mirror, reflecting the real state of law enforcement culture, one quiet detail at a time.
I didn't know, and I'm not, no.
What name would you like me to refer to you as? You don't have to give your name at all,
You can
guys.
call me Sir, or Power. You can call me Power. Yeah.
Power?
Yeah, let's go with Power, yeah.
I'll go with Sir, because Power just... I mean, that's
I didn't think you'd like it, that's why I said it, that's why I gave it as an option. I didn't think you would.
Mr. Power, does that sound right to you?
Mr. Power, that'd be
Go with Mr. Power.
No, my ego's not that big, don't worry.
Well, you've got yourself power, you can have a little one. Right, okay. Basically, mate, you are absolutely entitled to film any vehicles you want around here.
Yep.
Not a problem. You have, if officers want to speak to officers, that's not an issue.
Yep.
The other thing I'd say is this area of the car is a private car park.
It is, yep.
So if you wanted to literally step on that pavement there and film my officers, film the cars, there's not an issue whatsoever.
So, that's fine, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, the discussion I was trying to have with them, or trying to tell them, right? So they're saying it's secure, it's restricted, you got the gates and all that. I said, and that sign up there says private property, no public right of way. A right-of-way is a public road,
Yes.
right? It's not a public pavement. A right-of-way is
This is a private.
Oh, yes,
premises.
okay, but I'm getting to that bit. Okay, bear with me. So, yes, it's private, but in a private premises, you can still have a public area. A public area does not define whether it's public property
This
or
isn't
not.
a public area.
Okay, so
But you're wanting to check.
No. So as I've walked up towards the reception area, and then I've literally walked through here.
Yeah.
No signage for pedestrians saying private property, no public access.
You know
That would be the
completely
key.
agree with you. Yeah.
All right. So yes, it is private property. Until I was asked to leave,
Yeah.
it's publicly accessible. It's still public area. It's still a public area. It's still publicly accessible. The only thing is, you have the right to repeal repeal that implied right of access.
Yes, and you know what? Don't disagree with anything you've just said there, Mr.
Yeah.
Tower. Not a problem.
There
I
we go.
agree the signage should be better here.
Yeah.
But equally, you're here to do an audit. I'm guessing that's your role.
Well done.
To do that, yes. It's not my first time on the road.
Detective Sergeant McGill doesn't posture, argue, or feel the need to assert control for its own sake. Instead, he acknowledges the reality in front of him, the unclear signage, the auditor's legitimate right to record, and handles it with calm professionalism. His process is deliberate. He listens, evaluates, and responds without a hint of provocation. That restraint, that ability to stay composed under scrutiny, is what separates reactive policing from true leadership. What stands out most is how quiet authority can speak louder than confrontation. McGill doesn't need raised voices or threats to maintain order. His confidence comes from understanding the law and applying it fairly. It's understated, but powerful, a reminder that effective policing is as much about emotional intelligence as enforcement. I end just one conversation. McGill manages to rebuild credibility that earlier missteps had eroded. The public sees not just a badge, but a professional who values reason over reaction. This single moment becomes a blueprint for what modern policing should look like: balanced, respectful, and transparent. Other officers should be taking notes, because this is how trust is earned, not through force, but through integrity and action.
You can and can't do.
Yep.
I've got an absolute issue. Anything you've described so far,
Yep.
I don't have a problem with. In terms of the officer, and if you've had an issue, if you filmed something, if you do want to make a complaint about that.
I don't want to go through online. I was told a sergeant could deal with it. I've got his collar number, I've got his name. I want to report that to you now. If you want to take down his details, then you can deal with it.
Right, we can have a chat about whatever's happened there. But in terms of, you've raised a few things, haven't you? So right now, that implied consent of a sign is removed. So are we okay just standing over here now that that's been removed so we can talk?
No, I'm still going to stay here.
Okay, but I'm trying to be courteous to you.
I know, and I appreciate that, and that's why I'm not being as belligerent with you. But I am going to stand firm on where I stand, on where I am standing, literally.
But I don't understand why, if we've just covered that it's private premises and that implied right has been removed.
Yeah.
Because I agree, it isn't enough signage.
Yeah.
Because can you help me understand that rationale?
Because at the end of the day, they were. Not a gentleman, I've not met him yet,
Yeah.
but the ladies were so belligerent about it, and the fact that I absolutely couldn't be here, and absolutely was doing something wrong, especially the blonde officer. So I tried to raise the incident with the guy parked in his marked vehicle and doing all of that. Tried to raise it with her, was not interested, not her business, because she's a response officer. But then as soon as I come on here, she's got time to deal with that, but she can't deal with that. You see what I mean? That seems like a favourability towards another police officer, the thick blue wall as we call it, standing behind the thin blue line, and not holding up her. No, I'm not saying you are, but she's not holding up her oath. Neither was the other gentleman I spoke to. But she's got plenty of time to come and deal with this, apparently, but she doesn't have time to deal with that.
What I can say is, if anyone has in any way talked to you and you felt it wasn't being courteous, I can only apologise for that, because ideally we don't want to have that kind of discourse.
It's not even about the courtesy.
You're a switched on bloke. You know exactly what you do with these audits. You understand that they're going to provoke a reaction in terms of a security response. That's going to happen, isn't it?
Not always. I've been to plenty of places, plenty of police stations, headquarters, where they just leave me to it.
Okay, but I'd imagine they would have spoke to you at some. They would have said hello. They didn't say anything to you. Okay, well that might be because they didn't notice. Generally speaking,
no. They see me. They might give a wave, but
in a police station car park going around different cars, we'd usually stop to say, just as I've done with you, I'm not demanding your details. You give me them, as you bloody well know. Not trying to make your life in any way difficult. And in fact, I want to help enable you to do your audit and what you want to do. But as you've just explained, once that right has been revoked for the private premises, it's been revoked.
Right.
So the fact that you have been treated poorly, or you feel like someone's been rude to you, that doesn't change the fact that
no,
it's
it
been
doesn't.
revoked, does it? And you
It doesn't. But Once it's been revoked,
Yes.
it becomes an issue of civil trespass, doesn't it? And you knew I was coming with it. You knew I was coming with
We
it.
don't need to go down this. I'm trying to talk from a practical point of view.
I know you're
It's
talking
it's an
practically.
operational
I know you're talking
And we're
practically.
stood in a disabled bay.
I like to talk lawfully.
Yes.
Okay, so lawfully, I'm not committing any offences. You know, I know you haven't. I have, and you've requested that I leave.
Yeah.
And I'm going to politely decline. I'm not going to be rude about it because you may see it as rude that I'm declining in the first place. But I'm not going to be overly belligerent about it. I'm just going to.
Here's that rare but golden moment where accountability meets professionalism head-on. The auditor stands firm, grounded in legal rights, and the sergeant matches that energy with equal respect. No posturing, no veiled threats, no stretching of authority. Just calm, reasoned conversation between two people who actually understand the framework they're operating within. It's refreshing, even instructive. What unfolds isn't a clash. It's a collaboration built on mutual awareness of the law. The sergeant doesn't need to assert dominance to maintain control, and the auditor doesn't need to provoke to make a point. Both recognize that real accountability thrives not in conflict, but in clarity. This is what transparent policing looks like when done right. A simple, level exchange that reinforces trust instead of eroding it. Moments like these matter precisely because they are so uncommon. Without community audits capturing them, most people would never see this side of policing, the part where law, respect, and professionalism intersect seamlessly. It's proof that oversight isn't about antagonism. It's about building a shared standard where everyone, officer and citizen alike, is held to the same measure of integrity.